What is overweight? How do you manage overweight? What is obesity and how do you prevent it? So today our discussion is basically on how to lose weight, and before I delve into the topic, I would like to call upon you to kindly subscribe to the YouTube channel, to like the video, and you can also share it with a friend, share it in WhatsApp group, share it on Facebook, so that at least somebody can be enlightened and somebody can be able to keep health. So back to the topic of discussion. What is overweight? Overweight is having excessive fat that can impair your health. According to WHO, that's the World Health Organization, overweight can be defined as an adult having a BMI of above 25. And BMI is when we measure your weight against your height, and we find that it is against your height squared, and you find that it is above 25. For obesity, it will be above 30. But for kids, children, we measure weight against height, and if a child has a BMI of more than one, we say against the growth median, WHO growth median indicator, then we shall define that as overweight, and if it will be above 2, we shall say that is obesity. Therefore, in today's era, you and I know very well, and maybe you are trying to think about it also, weight is of great concern because of the following reasons. One, the lifestyle that we are living, sedentary life. People have changed. You know, a long time ago, people used to walk, and walking could cut down the excess fat. But today, people are sitting in office. People sit in a chair like this the whole day, and they are consuming a lot of carb foods. They are consuming junk like chips. The type of oils, the type of fats that are being used are not good for consumption, especially plant oil. Not very good for consumption, and therefore it leads to people gaining excess fats, and when they get those excess lipids, they become overweight. So how do you manage overweight? You may be following the show so that you know at least how you can cut down your weight, and today I want us to be very, very, very clear on how to cut down weight. There are so many things out there that if you do this, if you do that, you can cut down weight, and maybe you've attempted some of them, they are failing. But I want to assure you that if you follow the show and follow what we discuss here, you will be dropping a comment after some time that it has surely worked. So how do you cut down weight? Cutting down weight basically is changing the lifestyle that you are living currently. Because when you spend so much time in a sitting position, WHO advises that at least a person should be in active motion for about 7 hours. But in the real setup today, a person can find himself seated in an office the whole day, or just lazing around and doing no inactivity. That type of sedentary life is risking people, and they develop overweight, and overweight eventually leads to obesity. So changing of lifestyle is very, very important to reducing the type of food you are eating. Is very, very critical. Reduce on the junk foods. Eating of junk foods is not good. For eating only increases your fats and digestible sugars that also end up increasing excess, making you risk for things like diabetes. So I will say that basically, if you modify your life, and you know maybe you've attempted modifying your life and you're asking yourself how. One, come up with a schedule on how you'll be doing exercise. And exercise is all about discipline. So here is whereby you dedicate part of your time, part of the day, to do some activity so that at least you will keep healthy. And activity here, I can advise jogging, I can advise jumping the rope, I can advise gym workups. If you try that, you will sweat, and therefore you will burn those excess sugars that may end up being converted into fats. You may burn the excess fats. Taking plenty of water is very important also. It cleanses the body, and I want to keep insisting, take plenty of water, but take water as sips during the day. You can have a bottle, you carry a bottle, you sip during the day water. It will be good, and you will manage your weight. Another thing to manage weight, you can download, there is this app whereby it will advise you, it will give you activities for the day, then you will log in, you see the activity you are supposed to do, you do it for a certain period of time, and you give yourself a goal, like at the end of this month I should lose at least 300 grams. So you'll find that if you do that, you'll be able to lose weight. You can also attempt what we call fasting. Fasting is a very good measure that can help you generally stabilize as a human being, because if you do the fasting, then the body will sorry for that. The body will consume those excess fat, it will burn up those excess fats, and you will be healthy. So fasting may just be religious, but also in the medical world it can be very helpful. In fact, extremely helpful. I will now say that if you have a question, kindly post, kindly drop a comment. How has been the show? Drop a comment, and if you have any question, ask. I will respond to all your questions in the chat box below. And if you maybe forgot to subscribe, kindly do the subscription and share it. Don't just see it alone, share it with a friend, because next I'll be speaking about how to control, how to make your weight when you are underweight. That will be our next show. Welcome. Let us meet.